Yeah, so I think that this is the vote-o-rama situation in the House right now, or the Senate, sorry, that's the Senate. So I guess they're trying to do votes on key funding decisions when it comes to like ICE. It says ICE and CPB on this description. So let's go ahead and watch this. This is from Fox Business. Fox Business is like generally less unhinged, but judging by who they're having on, it's probably going to be pretty unhinged. So anyway, let's go ahead and see what they're doing when it comes to this vote-o-rama with these funding decisions in the Senate.
Welcome back.
It's also Maria Bartiromo's show, so you know, she's probably like 5 wines in at this point.
Today, the Senate is set to begin debate on the $70 billion GOP budget reconciliation bill. It would provide long-term funding for ICE and Customs and Border Patrol.
Reconciliation.
This part of a vote-o-rama marathon series of amendment votes is expected today. The debate comes after Republican lawmakers cleared 2 major hurdles. They dropped the Justice Department's anti-weaponization fund. The DOJ said it's walking away, and that was a sticking point in securing full support for the bill. They also removed $1 billion in security for President Trump's White House ballroom. Joining me now is Florida Senator Rick Scott.
Okay, so there, you know, those are some like relatively major L's for Trump. I don't know exactly why. Like, I'm curious what the political considerations of the Senate actually are, right? Like in terms of like people continuing to back every single, you know, one of Trump's insane demands versus some of them potentially being like, we'll get on board if you get rid of this like stupid shit. Like I'm just kind of curious what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to that stuff. Also, by the way, Jesus Christ, Rick Scott looking like the Cryptkeeper over here, man. This is death himself.
House ballroom. Joining me now is Florida Senator Rick Scott, a member of the Senate Homeland Security and Budget Committee.
Go
Senator,
die already.
I understand that you had to
save some years for the rest of us, man.
Drop the $1 billion for the ballroom when we know that this is a security issue. The president has been shot at 3 times now, and yet you can't get your colleagues to buy into this bill unless you get rid of the ballroom money.
Well, number one, yeah, it's for the president's security. I mean, he's been targeted so many times. Yeah. And so why?
Yeah, but by who, by the way? By who? Like, by who? Like, come on, man. Like, we can't, like, I think that we need to acknowledge more often that, like, it's usually disaffected, like, Trump, like, former Trump fans that are, like, going around trying to shoot up the president. But yeah, I mean, obviously, like, it's probably honestly for the best that this happened because everybody hates the ballroom shit, man. It's like it's classic like Marie Antoinette, like let them eat cake bullshit. Like nobody wants to see you making this multi-billion-dollar ballroom while people can't afford rent, you know, like people can't afford to fill up their car and go on their road trip like they used to or whatever. People can't afford, I don't know, to feed their fucking like pets, like or to pay for their cat's surgeries like I have to, you know, like people don't like that shit, man. So I think it might be like you know, potentially an actual benefit that this got stripped out just because it's so unpopular.
If it was a Democrat president, all the Democrats would be on board right away. But because it's Trump, they're against anti-Trump.
I don't think, first of all, I don't think any Democrat president would do this without like following every single like letter of the law to try to get it to happen. Like waiting for it to come through Congress and all of that sort of stuff. Like no Democrat would just go out and start doing it. Now, I want to be clear. I want Democrats to start playing the same games as Republicans. Like I want, if they want a fucking ballroom, I guess, go out and fucking do it. I'd rather them use that power, though. Use the power that Trump is attaining for the presidency for like you know, implementing executive orders and laws to fundamentally help the working class, right? Like that's what I want the next Democrat president to use it for. But in general, though, Democrats are too much of pussies to ever do anything like this without getting 100 levels of approval from every single body and their mother to like tell them that, yeah, it's okay for you to do this, you know?
why is it taking us so long? This is what we're voting on. We're voting on whether individuals like this should have been murdered. These are 4 young women murdered by illegal aliens, and it's going to take us months to get this passed. We should never have let the Democrats have all their priorities back in January, and then we don't fund ICE and CBP. And then you look at Delaney Hall up in New Jersey. These rioters, along with some Democrat senators, are up there defending people that kill our kids. This is the crazy.
Dude. That's not what these people are. Like, this is insane. You can't just say that shit. He's like, every brown person kills all white people. That's like the level of like propaganda that they're on now. That is insane. All of the people who are at Delaney Hall are just straight up like people who like overstayed their visa, or people who were just like working on a farm. Like they were just working on a farm and they got black bagged and thrown in there. Like there aren't any, as far as I'm aware, violent criminals in there. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that in Delaney Hall in particular, there are no violent criminals. Like I thought that at the very least, I thought that they would deport the violent criminals as opposed to just keeping them indefinitely in like slave labor camps. But yeah, that's crazy. And it should be a common sense, no like non-controversial move to go out there and protest concentration camps, because I keep telling people this is not where it ends. It doesn't end with just your like illegal immigrants. OK, it doesn't end with just immigrants. OK, it ends with you. It ends with me. This is where it ends, is with like everybody, any sort of dissident. Like, let's say you don't like Trump's Israel first policies, right? You don't like that Israel is basically using our government as like a fleshlight to do whatever the fuck they want with, right? Let's say that you're opposed to that and you want to go out and protest it. Sorry, you're going to an ICE facility. You're going to be in the detention center, buddy, because you're a dangerous radical dissident. Okay, this is how it always goes. This is how fascism begins. People need to wake up, and people should be out there protesting. They need to. These people, these fascist goons, need to be scared, right? They need to be scared that they are going to have some form of accountability. And it doesn't, and maybe that accountability won't happen in the near term, but it needs to happen in the future. And they need to be afraid of that, because if they're not afraid of that, this whole project that they're doing accelerates like insanely quickly. If they're not shown that people are opposed to this at every level, like every single level, then they are going to make things a lot worse and a lot faster for the rest of us. So those people out there who are protesting Delaney Hall, they're doing God's work. Jesus would be out there doing that shit too, by the way. I'm just saying, for all you like right-wing freaks out there, Jesus would be out there protesting this shit as well.
Craziest time in this country.
Well, it's unbelievable, really. I mean, you've got to use reconciliation just for normal appropriations of money toward what you would expect to be open, and that is immigration and Department of Homeland Security issues in the middle of a war. But the Democrats always come up with something else that they don't like. Now they're upset about the president tapping federal housing director Bill Pulte to serve as acting director of national intelligence. He'll replace Tulsi Gabbard, who's stepping aside at the end of the month. Senate Democrats apparently, what did they say? I mean, they're urging GOP leaders to pressure the president into withdrawing this appointment, and they threatened that they're going to tank the extension of Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, or FISA, if the president doesn't reverse this decision on Bill Pulte. What have you heard?
Well, first off, whatever Trump does, that's the reason why Democrats won't go along. They're not going to go along and help us make sure we fund ICE and CBP for some godforsaken reason. They don't want to do FISA to make sure we can surveil.
For some unforsaken reason or godforsaken reason. Yeah, because it's like a demonic entity in our country. Like, that's why it's a demonic entity in our country. We shouldn't allow this level of evil to fester in our country, because like I just said, it doesn't end where it currently is. It keeps expanding until it is forced to be stopped. It's easier to stop this shit on the earlier side than it is later on. Trust me.
Foreigners. There's a new excuse every day. Whatever Trump does, well, then the Democrats can't go do the next thing we need to do. So take FISA. We need to be able to surveil foreigners, but not Americans. I've been surveilled All right, they've reduced my tax returns. They attacked my company when I went against Hillary Care. Under Biden, I think they did 3 million warrantless searches. So we need to do these things. But Democrats, it's just some excuse every day about, oh, let's don't do something else that's important because Trump did X. Whatever he does today, then that means they don't do something tomorrow.
Yeah. So what are you going to do about it?
By the way, okay, one of the major reasons that that people claim that like immigrants are like some sort of problem is that they say that they're like a drain on the system, right? That's what they say. It's not true. Immigrants contribute taxes, right? Illegal immigrants contribute taxes. They also are not allowed to take part in any of our services at all. Like any of the welfare state that we have created, they are not allowed to take any advantage of any of that. So they are literally straight up just like paying extra money to the government compared to the average U.S. citizen. And this guy right here, Rick Scott, Senator Rick Scott's connection to Medicare fraud stems from his tenure as CEO at Columbia HCA in the 1990s. The company ultimately pleaded guilty to 14 corporate felonies and paid a record $1.7 billion in fines to the federal government for defrauding Medicare and Medicaid. I think it might be the largest. I think it literally might be the largest instance of Medicare fraud that has ever existed, is this one right here. And so like 1.7 billion is insane, right? Like and like these people don't like they aren't actually serious when they talk about things like fraud or things like I don't know, like any of this stuff when it comes to like the reasons that they give for detaining these immigrants who, like I said before, are not criminals. They are not criminals. They are just people. They have not committed crimes. They are people who have overstayed their visas, or they're people who have are just like workers, like they work the farm or they work the local deli. They're parts of our community. They are literally just people. And it's just, I don't know, it's so demonic what these people do.
No, I mean, you've got the midterms coming up in a couple of months. I mean, the Democrats say Bill Pulte has no national security experience. The president said that his work leading Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will overlap with those new responsibilities, Senator. But I mean, look, if you've got the authorization of the nation's foreign spy powers set to expire next week, you've got to move on this and do something about it. What are you going to do going into the midterms if you lose some support in the House and they lose the majority? It's only going to get worse with the Democrats telling you what the agenda is.
Absolutely. Well, by the way, they're doing a lot of it now by holding things up. That's why I think we have to get rid of the filibuster, because what we've done is we've allowed the Democrats to block every logical thing that's good for Americans. All right. And so it's so frustrating because I came up here to get stuff done.
Yeah.
I mean, so many colleagues did. And the Democrats block everything that's good for Americans. They don't want tax cuts. They don't want to make sure we can surveil.
Do it. Please get rid of the filibuster. I would be, Rick Scott, I want you to know personally, I am a dangerous radical leftist. Okay. And I would be so upset. I would cry every single night. I would cry tears every single night if you got rid of the filibuster. Please don't do it. Please. Do you think I tricked him? Dear God, if they got rid of the filibuster, that would be like one of like the major goals of the like Democratic Party needs to be to get rid of the filibuster. And if they just did it for us, that would be perfect, because there are certain things that if the Democrats do, the Democrats are just like not allowed to do because the corporate donors are scared that it's going to impact their bottom line, right? The pedo billionaires. They're scared that it's going to impact their bottom line when Democrats do it. But they give Republicans a lot of leeway because they trust that the Republicans are 100% always going to be on the side of capital. And so when the Republicans say that they will that they want to remove the filibuster, I do think there is a chance that they would be allowed to actually do so. It's a small chance. I don't really have a lot of hope that it's actually going to happen, but maybe if somebody sends the video of me being super sad if they do it, then maybe that'll help them out a little bit.
For foreigners, they don't want to fund ICE and CBP. So it's everything we need to do. The
ICE is
Democrats block.
incredibly unpopular.
Well, look, you look at what Florida's doing, and it seems
Over 50% of the country hates ICE. So, everybody, like, I mean, that's a majority. The majority of the country hates ICE.
that DeSantis is getting things done there. Florida lawmakers approved his constitutional amendment for the November ballot, which would significantly cut property taxes for many homeowners. The measure would raise the homestead exemption from $50,000 to $150,000 beginning in 2027, with a pathway to an even larger future exemption up to 250%.
Oh, sorry, I missed this. This is for what? Florida taxes?
Constitutional amendment for the November ballot, which would significantly cut property taxes for many homeowners. The measure would raise the homestead exemption from $50,000 to $150,000.
Florida's becoming worse and worse every day, man. Bye-bye schools, bye-bye public schools, bye-bye firefighters, bye-bye cops. Cops got to take a pay cut if you don't got property taxes, man. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I like to talk about how like there's this idea of like billionaires fleeing various states or whatever. Like if Zoran is elected, they're gonna flee New York. And I keep being like, please go, because this is what happens when you get a bunch of billionaires in your state is they start buying all of the politicians in your area, and then they implement like pro-billionaire, pro-corporate tax policies and stuff that immediately like destroy like the community, like eviscerate and destroy the community as fast as possible. Like Florida is speed running that shit right now, man. It's crazy.
$1,000 beginning in 2027, with a pathway to an even larger future exemption up to 250%. Ron DeSantis, the governor, told me all about it on Sunday. Here's what he said.
Okay, this isn't related to the vote-o-rama thing anymore, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move on, I think. Okay, well that was kind of fun, I guess. Got to see Rick Scott talk about his little oopsie daisy when it comes to Medicare fraud.